Hello everyone, welcome to a special edition of Dayspring Discussions. I am Sean McGahee, and here with me on this beautiful Saturday morning is the lovely Miss Lisa Locke McGahee. Say hello, Lisa.
Hello.
Alright guys, so we are coming at you this morning because something happened yesterday that we are both super excited about. Yesterday, a mid-season trailer dropped for Star Wars Rebels Season 2. Lisa and I are both fans of this show. It's one of our top shows we watch. It's actually one of the rare shows we actually watch together now.
And one of the rare shows I watch at all.
Exactly. So the trailer came out, and after multiple viewings, we were both really excited about it. And I decided I wanted to talk about it a little bit more. So we're going to do a little bit of a trailer breakdown as well. Go through it and just kind of point out a few obvious things. Some things we're really excited about. Maybe some theories as well, which would be super cool. Before I do, I gotta say, I'm super impressed with Lisa lately, how much her interest in Star Wars has grown.
No, it's not that it's grown. I've always been interested in Star Wars. It's just there hasn't really been that much.
You are no longer a casual fan, though, okay? Before, you just watched the movies, and that was fine, of course. And that was a prerequisite to, me marrying you, of course. So you had to at least like Star Wars. Not love, but like Star Wars, of course. But now, since The Force Awakens have come out, first off, you've seen The Force Awakens more than I have, okay? You've listened to the audiobook, you're reading Star Wars comic books, and you're watching Star Wars Rebels, okay? You're in it. You're in the trenches now, okay? You're gonna be obsessed. Before you know it, you're gonna be reading all the books as well. It's all gonna be encompassing in your life.
Yes, I guess so.
Exactly. So
well, and you can probably thank Collider Jedi Council for that, because Jedi Council is really the only Collider one I watch, the video that I watch regularly now.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Or listen to. I listen to it in the car. I don't really listen to Movie Talk every day, but I listen to Jedi Council every week.
Well, thank you, Kristen and John and Mark and all of you for that, for helping us bring me and Lisa closer together as a couple.
Okay, so, I don't really think that...
I think it totally has, okay?
So what you're saying is that they've saved our marriage?
Not saved it, but... not saved it, but brought us closer together, I think. Whatever. Anyway, so guys, we're going to go through the trailer here. I'm going to go maybe like every 30 seconds or so. I'll pause it. Lisa, we're going to talk about what we see and give you some theories as well. So
we'll just pause it whenever it gets to something that we want to talk about.
Okay, well then you just point me out and we'll go from there.
I can also control the mouse as well, correct? I can just pause it for something I
was going to keep my finger on. See?
Okay, go.
This is what I deal with every day, people.
Just go.
Every day. Here we go.
Start.
To defeat your enemy, you have to understand them.
Okay, time out real quick. So, is that a Jedi temple?
I think so. I think it's probably because, there are several Jedi temples that are scattered throughout the entire galaxy.
I think there's more than several.
Well, there's more than several. But, like in The Force Awakens, Luke was in the search for the first Jedi temple as well. So it makes sense that Ahsoka or Kanan or whoever were in search for more temples, I think. Mm-hmm. This one, of course, we're going to see looks a little more interesting. This is kind of cool. Just before the Lucasfilm logo popped up, you saw Vader come to meet the Inquisitors as well. So I'm curious, he's like going to try to, is he going to try to help them hunt down Ahsoka and Kanan, or is he going to, he's be like, what have you reported, or, just to check it or whatever. So, we'll go.
There's always a bit of truth in legends.
The Empire's making our travels around the Outer Rim tougher all the time. Everywhere we go, we run into those guys. If this keeps up, we'll never be able to help the rebels establish a base.
Senator Organa heard about our losses. He's sending us reinforcements.
Sham Syndulla, at your service.
So, Syndulla here, I believe, if I remember correctly, that is Hera's dad.
Oh.
And he was actually in the book, Dark Lords of the Sith, that came out a while ago, which is actually my favorite new canon Star Wars book right now, where where Vader and Palpatine were trapped on a planet, and Hera's dad was actually trying to, kill Vader and Palpatine and all that stuff as well. But this is also interesting because you have Hera, who was recently promoted, as well. So she's a much more active part of the rebellion as well, too. And then, of course, you see all this fighting or whatever. I like one thing throughout this whole trailer I got a sense of is there's going to be a lot more lightsaber battles too.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
A lot more fighting with, Kanan and Ezra, of course.
Well, and Ezra's getting so much stronger.
Exactly is. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
and now that you have Ahsoka in the mix too, it's,
Yeah, of course.
It's going to be exciting.
Right.
Get down!
You're a princess. You don't have to risk your life doing this.
I feel like because I can fight, I have to, for those who cannot. And I think you might be the same way.
Alright, so with that, we see Princess Leia coming to the mix. Mm-hmm. Now, I gotta admit, I'm a little disappointed about the voice casting. Because, okay, it was in older renditions of Princess Leia, like in video games and whatnot. The thing I liked was they took actually the girl who did the voice of Padme in the Clone Wars, and she did the voice for Leia, which was kind of, paying homage to her mother, which I thought was good. Of course, I can't judge it too much. This is a new voice cast,
the voice,
which is fine.
Whatever, I think the voice is fine. I just don't think she looks young enough.
I think she looks, the way she's talking, she looks like she's exactly more mature.
Yeah.
I don't think at that point of her life she needs to be that strong-willed.
Yeah,
actually.
but, it depends on what we don't know her story and her life. Her dad,
she looks she seems a lot more calm than she is in A New Hope, where she's more spunky.
Calm.
She's more spunky in New Hope.
I don't know. We'll see, I guess, but she's only going to be in one episode, right?
I don't know how many episodes.
I think it's only supposed to be one. But, I don't know. I just feel like her demeanor, I think, is okay. I just think they should have made her look a little younger. She's supposed to be...
She's supposed to be same age as Ezra. Yeah.
And I think he looks a lot younger than she does.
I agree with that. We'll see. When they show them against each other, we'll see, the height and take a look at them and see. I like her dialogue she had, though,
Yeah.
Where it's kind of... It definitely fits into her
you got to think, motif. Too, her entire life, her dad has been fighting the Empire.
So, secretly fighting the Empire,
Secretly fighting the Empire, right. But she... So this has been her... I think her demeanor is appropriate to... That's what her entire life has been about.
I gotcha. A lot more lightsaber battles.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Chopper gets...
I like that. I like how they're doing some space jumping, kind of like in Star Trek. They did?
Okay, now pause. So who was the third person here?
That's got to be there are several Inquisitors. We just haven't met them all. Because, we have the sixth sister and the fifth brother here or whatever. So there's...
Yeah, I don't remember the numbers.
There's the one's 5, one's 6, so there's got to be a 4, there's got to be a 3.
Well, they already killed one.
Well, the one was the Grand Inquisitor, the one that died at the end. So he could be number 1. Mm-hmm. But then again, all the other Inquisitors are now fighting for that number 1 spot, that Grand Inquisitor spot, allegedly. So we saw in several episodes where these two were, bickering with each other because they're both craving that power. Such is the dark side, of course.
Right.
But so now we got another Inquisitor coming in. Of course, it makes sense though because now you have Ezra, Kanan, and Ahsoka, and especially after Ahsoka just took down those 2 Inquisitors by herself.
Yeah.
That Vader's like, all right, bring in more reinforcements.
Mm-hmm. So I'm curious now that Vader and Ahsoka are gonna, interact because we were talking last night. Does Ahsoka at this point know that Vader is Anakin? And it's unclear.
It's unclear. It is.
And there's a bit at the end here where he's talking, and you almost feel like she's just finding out then.
Yeah, it could be
that it's Anakin, but it's interesting to me, because he obviously knows who Ahsoka is.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't know. I'm just curious to see. How it all plays out.
It's interesting, because at the end of the Siege of Lothal, she reached out in the forest and felt something. And she had that look at the end where to me it looked like she knew who that was. But some people, even people who work on the show, have said she really doesn't know quite yet. Mm-hmm. She just has a feeling, but she's in other episodes, she's going to go investigate kind of more about it. Yeah. So she might not know. I think she does, but if she doesn't, whatever. And of course, with this trailer, you obviously know she's going to find out eventually if she doesn't. So.
The Jedi are growing in their power.
So in that scene, who are all the people around?
Well, they look like the guys who are, in
the ones they show later?
Yeah, the guys who they show later. I think that's one thing. They go to that, Ahsoka, Kanan, and Ezra go to that temple, and I think that's where those guys are. Because they look like the kind of the Jedi guards on Coruscant that guard, kind of, they're almost like security in the Jedi temple. That's who they look like. Specifically, I don't quite know. But I'm sure we'll find out.
Will be their undoing.
Chopper looks like he's going to have some awesome scenes.
Yeah.
I did hang Chopper in my car yesterday, by the way.
Oh, did you?
My friends?
We'll talk about this here as soon as Yoda says the line. We'll talk about Yoda.
How did I choose to win? The question is.
All right, so Yoda pops up. We've heard Yoda before in the series when Ezra was just getting his lightsaber and Kanan took him to that temple for some training. We heard it, but we never saw him actually. It's interesting that he's sitting there talking to Yoda. I don't like the way Yoda looks though.
I mean, he looks too young.
He looks really. I mean, he looks kind of like crazy. I mean, I know he's getting older. He looks like, not like he looked. The way he looked in the Clone Wars was a lot more smooth and distinguished. Here, he looks like a ratted old Minoc or something.
Anyway,
but I love the dialogue he talked about. He was like where Ezra's saying, "Shouldn't I protect my friends? Shouldn't I, do what I have to?" And Yoda's like, "It depends on how you do it. It's how you fight that determines whether you go light side or dark side." Is what it is, and that's of course goes to defeat the whole Anakin thing. Anakin wanted to do good things, but he did them the wrong way. So, and that goes into Ezra's thing, where of course Ezra might be going dark, but
this trailer
continue on.
Certainly implies that
Continue
he's
on and
going
see.
to the dark side.
Growing your ability.
Riding the whale.
And with them, danger.
That's a badass shot of Vader.
You should have seen him in person. He was my master.
So there we saw a little bit of Anakin, young Anakin, training, doing his thing, and Ezra's asking Ahsoka questions about him.
So why do you think that they're looking at a video of Anakin?
I'm thinking, well, like I said, because Kanan has that Jedi holocron. Remember, and it's pretty much like a video. It's got more. I think it's got more on it than just that message from Obi-Wan to stay away from the temple. So it could have something like that. But remember, in this trailer, we see they go to other Jedi temples. They have other holocrons. Maybe they get their hands on another one, and one of them has a video of Anakin training at young age. Now, after I saw the video, of course, I went online, and Dave Filoni did a interview with Entertainment Weekly as regards to this whole trailer here. And he said that the guy who does the voice of Anakin in the Clone Wars, Matt Lautner, I believe is his name, is coming back to do some Anakin voicing as well, too. So that would be cool. So we'll get to see a little bit more of Anakin as well. I think that's the whole thing. I think this whole next season, or next half of this season, Ahsoka's going to be going through Anakin's past and going through and trying to put the pieces together, pretty much, is what it is. So I think we're going to be more of an investigation as Ahsoka tries to figure out who Vader is.
And what took him there.
Yeah.
The dark side. It pulls at him. It calls to him.
It calls to him. So again, another premonition that Ezra is going to go dark, or could go dark, really. Kind of in a similar fate that Anakin had, really. I don't think they're going to turn him so quickly, though. I think if Ezra goes dark, it's going to be that slow burn that we saw with, like, Anakin, where it's going to take several years. I don't see him going dark until, like, the last season.
Do you think, though, that if Ezra goes dark, that he could play some part into the current film as somebody dark?
I'm still under the hope that Max von Sydow's character in Episode 7 is actually Kanan.
Right, but I'm talking about Ezra.
Yeah. What about him?
I'm saying if he does go dark, could he be something that comes up into like Episode 8 or 9?
Could be. That'd be awesome. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think, like I said, I don't think they're going to tie the movies to the TV series like that, though. I don't think, kind of like how Marvel does, okay, with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., okay? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. feeds off of what happens in the movies and not the other way around, because not everyone watches the TV show as much as they watch the movies. So same thing with this. I think they're going to give us stuff from the movies in the TV show, and they're not going to do the opposite, because not everyone watches Rebels as much as they see the movies. So I think there could be little hints or little nuggets for us who watch the TV show in the film, but it's not going to be anything really noticeable. Like, it's not going to be a character that pops up in the movies that's going to be like, hey, if you want to know more about this character, you have to watch Rebels. Mm-hmm. I don't think that they do that to the movie-going audience, the casual fans.
Well, the casual fans wouldn't care enough to want to go back and
exactly,
dig through.
But you do now because you're no longer a casual fan.
I know, right?
You're in it. You're in the trenches.
Whatever.
All right.
You seek
My favorite part.
Call me Old Master.
Okay, so when I first watched this, it was on my lunch break, on my phone, in the break room, and I just kind of, I watched the trailer, I was like, yeah, that's cool, and I saw that part, the guy in the cloak, and I was like, okay, was that Palpatine kind of pretending, or who is that? And of course, I got home, I watched it, and on a bigger screen, and that's when I really got excited for the trailer, because I realized who that was.
You think? You don't know for sure.
I'm like, every time I watch this trailer, I'm more and more sure. Like, I started out like 70%, then I moved to 90%, then 95%. Now I'm about 99% sure that is Darth Maul. When last we saw Darth Maul in the Clone Wars series, he was on Mandalore. His brother had just been killed because Sidious killed him, and Sidious was electrocuting him, saying, I'm not going to kill you because I have other work for you to do. But then his story actually continues because in a graphic novel, Son of Dathomir, Maul actually turns against Dooku and Palpatine and aligns himself again with his Mandalorian soldiers. Because in the Clone Wars series, Maul took out the Mandalorian leader, which means, of course, he now leads the Mandalorians. Mm-hmm. Or Death Watch, I guess is the group. Mandalorian's the people, Death Watch is the rebel group. So, at the end of the comic, he escaped with Death Watch, and he's still out there. We still don't know what happened to him. So how we fast forward past episode 3, 15, 16 years later after those events take place, and we see him here. What's he been up to? I love... Darth Maul has become one of my favorite villains now, because they've expanded him so much thanks to the Clone Wars. In episode 1, people were so excited for this character because he looked so cool, and he had that double-edged lightsaber. He was just, flipping around, kicking ass. Really cool. But then, what happened? Obi-Wan cut him in half. The character was done. We never saw him in the movies. A lot of people were disappointed. So they brought him back for Clone Wars, and they made him such a better character, especially with his story as well. I'm excited to see him come back. I want to see... He's got to have some kind of plan, I feel like. Maul, he's become this character. He's not just a grunt where you see it in episode 1. He's a guy who thinks, a guy who is very diabolical in his thought process. I think he's going to have something not only just for Ezra and Kanan and Ahsoka, but for Palpatine and Vader as well, because he has kind of a hatred for Palpatine and the Sith, really. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not as convinced as you are that it's him, but I can see it.
You can see the face paint. And it's Sam, and that is Sam Witwer's. I went back and I listened very closely. That is Sam Witwer's voice, who does the voice of Darth Maul on the Clone Wars.
Anyway, Sam Witwer does a lot of voices. But
not for this. The only people he's done voices for in the Star Wars universe animated series are the Emperor and Darth Maul. Mm-hmm. And they're not going to bring in... That doesn't look like the Emperor, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
Well, at first some people speculated it was Darth Plagueis, and I'm like, no, because then I looked at it. He's got face paint. That's Sam Witwer's voice. It's Darth Maul. He's coming into play. And a lot of people in the galaxy at this time probably don't know who Darth Maul is.
No.
So he could play that to his advantage to, kind of secretly, get in with Ezra, whatever, to bring him more towards the dark side. Try to be Maul's apprentice, perhaps even.
Right.
A lot of speculation, but it's awesome.
I don't know.
But here's my other thing I'm going to go. I'm going to go far out on this leap, okay? If that is Maul, which I know it is, I'll put money on it is, okay?
That doesn't do any good for me. We have the same money. We
can do a personal bet from our personal accounts if you want to go that route.
No, I
okay?
I don't want to make a bet
because you know I'm right.
No, I'm not convinced one way or the other. I don't know yet.
So I'm going to take another leap. If that is Maul, which I know it is, Obi-Wan Kenobi is not far behind. We're going to see Obi-Wan, I think, if Maul stays on the show, at least for, a couple episodes or so, Obi-Wan Kenobi will show up. Because Obi-Wan and Maul are, what do I want to say, linked.
Yeah, they are.
Darth Maul is Obi-Wan's arch nemesis. These two have been fighting with each other for 20 years now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Obi-Wan cuts him in half, and Maul spends the next 10 years or 11 years or whatever going insane, hanging out in a junk world until his brother finds him and literally, metaphorically, in every way possible, puts him back together.
Mm-hmm.
And then Maul tears through the galaxy trying to destroy Obi-Wan in every way possible. Mm-hmm. And spoiler alert, the worst thing he did was kill the love of Obi-Wan's life, Satine. Mm-hmm. And that's the last we saw them together. So they are linked. And if Maul is going to bite it before before they get to episode 4, so to speak, it's going to be Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is the one who's going to have to take out Maul, because that's just justice. Mm-hmm. All right? But Obi-Wan, of course, meets his doom in episode 4. So Maul, I don't think, can survive past episode 4 because Obi-Wan has to be the one to take him out. That's my logic.
All right.
Sound thought?
I agree. I think if that is Maul, then I definitely agree with you that Obi-Wan is following.
So I think we're either going to get that in Rebels here, or it's going to be in an Obi-Wan spin-off film. Because they've been talking about bringing Ewan McGregor back for a spin-off film as well. Mm-hmm. And, Ewan McGregor already did that voiceover for The Force Awakens too. So he's in the team. Mm-hmm. So I would love to see. That'd be... Forget Han Solo. I want to see an Obi-Wan spin-off.
Yeah. Oh, I'd much rather see an Obi-Wan.
Exactly.
Especially with Ewan McGregor.
Of course. So, all right. Continue on.
You win by surviving.
Hang on!
I hate it when she says
Can I
that.
say how much I love the crew of the Ghost?
Oh, I know. I do too.
Ezra, don't!
Ahsoka, why did you leave? Do you know what I've become?
Thoughts on that?
That's what I'm saying. I think this is where she finds
This
out
is
that
where
it's
she
him.
finds out. I think she goes to the Jedi. Maybe she goes to the temple to get more attuned with the Force as well, to figure more out maybe as well too. Mm-hmm. Could be it. And she reaches in, she taps into Anakin. But also that scene there of Vader on top of his TIE fighter, that's badass.
Yeah.
That is totally badass.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. Vader facing off. This is all just epic right here.
Yeah.
You see the saber or whatever.
Yeah, and then Ahsoka pulls out her
lightsabers.
She's awesome. I love Ahsoka.
I love the music that's going on underneath this too. Is really like epic. It's so awesome. I mean, really, really cool stuff. And there's that shot.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I knew they were going to end on that shot too. We knew this whole season was going to come down to Ahsoka versus Vader. It's what it's all culminating to.
Yeah.
Think Ahsoka's going to meet her end?
I don't know. I don't want her to, but she has to at some point. She's not any more
because in Clone Wars, I thought she was going to meet her end at the end of Clone Wars. I'm like, okay, so Anakin has this Padawan. We don't see her in Episode 3, so she has to die in the Clone Wars. But she didn't. She just walked away right before, Order 66 and Revenge of the Sith happened, and she's been in hiding. So, what if she goes back into hiding or something?
I don't know.
I think it could definitely be a possibility.
I mean, I certainly don't want her
she's
to die because I love Ahsoka.
She's become such a great character.
So awesome.
She was so annoying at the first part of the Clone Wars, but
she was a kid.
Yeah, exactly. But they developed that character so well, and now her in Rebels is, I think anyone can agree, she's just great for it.
Yeah, she's badass. And I think one thing I love about Rebels is, I've always loved R2 and 3PO. I love Chopper. And in Force Awakens, BB-8 I love BB-8.
Yeah.
Like, I think Chopper and BB-8 I like them better now.
I feel like BB-8's a little more innocent. Like, Chopper is a little more seasoned. He's got that attitude.
Spunky, yeah.
I think as far as, like, BB-8's kind of the child. R2-D2, kind of a little more seasoned. Chopper's kind of that middle teenager where he's got that attitude to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so a lot of good stuff we saw at the very end there. A lot of lightsaber battles. Looks like it's going down to that temple, perhaps even. You got Vader showing up, taking on Ezra, Ahsoka. We don't know what's going to happen. We know some stuff's going to go down. Like I said, the music and the imagery was just it all just worked. It all just worked.
I'm super excited.
Super excited, yeah. I just want to know what happens.
I know. I know.
It's just going to be awesome. So, Rebels returns next week. So, we'll see, how they go. I think that first episode is the episode with Princess Leia they're going to show. I mean, of course, the Ahsoka Darth Vader battle.
That's not going to happen.
That's going to be the last episode.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious. I just want to go into... I mean, I want to know when Vader realized... Of course, he realizes Ahsoka's there, but also let's not forget about Rex.
Yeah.
He has a very close relationship with Rex as well.
Well, in Rex, they had that one bit in this trailer where Rex, like, jumps from...
Yeah.
So he's in
it. So, I mean, I can see... I mean, if Vader doesn't... I can see him taking out Ahsoka or Rex, or both of them, maybe. I mean, I would love to see one of those characters survive at least.
Yeah.
I think. Would be awesome. But I can see him taking out both of them as well. Either way, if they both meet their demise, I can see Rex going down protecting Kanan.
Yeah.
Because Kanan is all suspicious about him.
They're like getting to be friends now.
Yeah, they're getting to be friends. But again, they started off, Kanan did not trust him at all. He did not like him. So to culminate that relationship, Rex would sacrifice himself to save Kanan. I can see.
Yeah.
I can see, of course, Ahsoka sacrificing herself for Ezra. To protect Ezra, because she knows how powerful Ezra is and wants to protect him. Kind of like an Obi-Wan Luke thing where he sacrificed himself to protect Luke in that instance as well. Also, I can see Hera going down.
I know. That kind of worries me, though.
Hera is, now, like I said, she's taken that bigger role in...
Well, and they show the bit in here, too, where the ship that she's flying gets, like, shot.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's going to go down. I don't think she's going to die from a ship or something.
No, I don't.
I can see, I see, a Vader or one of the Inquisitors taking her out. It's got to be something up close and personal.
Yeah.
As far as that goes. And taking out Hera would... I mean, forget Ezra. Kanan would just go...
Yeah.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
As well as the rest of the crew. But we were just talking, too. One thing I love about the show, too, is the crew of the Ghost.
Yeah.
They are all great characters. I mean, Kanan's my favorite, but they're all growing on me so much.
The only one I don't like, different too, is Sabine.
Sabine, I like her.
I'm kind of mad
I think
about Sabine.
She's got her purpose.
Yeah, I know, I agree. I'm just saying she's the only one that I'm not, like, attached to.
And they're getting more into her backstory as well. They had that one episode.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to bring in more Mandalorians as well, which, of course, makes sense. Because if you bring in Darth Maul, guess what? Death Watch isn't far behind, and they look like that. Saying that. So, a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Very super excited, guys.
Awesome.
If you're not watching Star Wars Rebels,
go back and watch from the beginning because it's awesome.
Exactly. The season 1, it just starts off a little slow, but if you get to the end of season 1, you'll be hooked.
Yeah, it's really.
By the end of season 1, it'll be awesome. Then you start off season 2 with a big bang as Vader shows up and kicks the crap out of the crew of the Ghost. But yeah, if you have any questions, guys, of course, hit us up, dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Or you can hit us up on our new Facebook page or Twitter page. That's right.
Twitter page too.
I created a Twitter page as well. Yes, we are going global. And my goal is to expand. We're expanding this, okay? We're moving out. I want to get some recognition here, okay? I want people to hear my voice.
Okay.
People hear your voice enough, okay?
Whatever.
They need to hear mine.
Whatever.
Guys, that's it for us. So, look for us on our regular time spot on Tuesdays. Until then, may the Force be with you.